Okay, guys, are we set? Great. Here we go. A very warm welcome to you wherever it is you're tuned in from Kenya, East Africa, and around the world. This is Techover, the show that discusses all things technology. There's something special about this week. Our mothers, our sisters are being recognized this week. It's International Women's Day towards the end of the week, but we want to begin the week by recognizing them and recognizing their efforts. So today's episode is dedicated to women in tech. My name is Brian Jojotino, your in-house techie at NTV. We want to find out how is the uptake of women in tech looking like. Are more ladies taking up STEM courses, that is science, technology, engineering, mathematics? Are they taking them up? What challenges are they facing? What are they seeing, and how can we assist them to take up some of these courses? But first off, as always, the tech news of the week. Equitel, the mobile virtual network operator or MVNO by the fintech company FinServe, has launched its 5th generation service, or rather 5G. An MVNO is a company that does not own a mobile spectrum license but sells mobile services under its brand name using the network of a licensed mobile operator. Equity Group's mobile virtual network operator launched 5G services in collaboration with their host mobile network operator Airtel, promising faster and more reliable connectivity for customers to stream, download, and upload. Equitel claimed an Africa first for an MVNO with the 5G rollout, and it builds on the success of its previous 4G offering. The mobile virtual network operator launched its 4G service in August 2021. Equitel competes locally with Zioncell and Sema Mobile, among others. The Association of Fintechs in Kenya, AFIC, in collaboration with Africa Fintech Network, AFN, has announced that the Africa Fintech Festival, AFF, will be held at Enashipai Resort in Naivasha from the 12th to 15th June 2024. Africa is the world's fastest growing continent when it comes to fintech revenue, with a compound annual growth rate of 32%. This means that by 2030, the African fintech market will be worth $65 billion, according to Boston Consulting Group BCG and QED investors. Against this backdrop, AFF will bring together the Pan-African fintech ecosystem to explore how African businesses can leverage innovation, collaboration, and tech to solve the continent's most pressing challenges.
The continuous engagement between policymakers, regulators, and the fintech ecosystem needs to be something that is taken to the next notch. That's not to say that there isn't any engagement. I think we've seen tremendous improvement in that engagement between policymakers, regulators, and the fintech ecosystem. What is important is to ensure that there's a lot more seamless engagement between these two key players in the financial technology ecosystem, not just in Kenya, but across Africa.
Safaricom's mobile money platform M-Pesa processed 700 million shillings payments under the government's cash transfer program Inua Jamii in January. According to new disclosures by the operator, the transfers benefited an estimated 300,000 persons enrolled in the program at the end of the period. Disbursements under the government cash transfer program switched to the M-Pesa platform from January this year, following a December 2023 presidential directive. President William Ruto ordered the shift on Jamhuri Day last year, saying it would save beneficiaries from the hassles of long distances, cost and inconveniences associated with bank transfers. Last month alone, the Ministry of Labour and Social Protection announced the release of 2 billion shillings as the January payment to beneficiaries enrolled in the Inua Jamii program, and a further 5.9 million shillings for nutrition improvement through cash and health education niche, a complementary program. The caregivers to persons registered as Inua Jamii beneficiaries are expected to enroll for M-Pesa payments using their registered M-Pesa phone numbers. About 207,000 beneficiaries had enrolled for the M-Pesa payment and received payment via the platform since December, according to the ministry disclosures. And last but not least, the Communications Authority of Kenya, CA, has allowed the Nairobi-based arm of Indian multinational Zoho to provide electronic signature services to businesses in the country, intensifying competition in the space. The Software as a Service SAS company received CA's nod last week to roll out Zoho Sign in the Kenyan market, allowing the clientele in the country to digitally sign legally binding contracts without the need for paperwork. This is a step closer to ending the oligopolistic nature of the digital signature service business, which so far has only 4 licensed providers in Kenya. The CA approval follows Zoho's partnership with Tenderworld, one of the 4 firms currently licensed by CA to operate as electronic certification certificate providers, or ECSP, allowing it to build over its certification system. On this special episode on Women in Tech, our story starts here at Kala, a big data farm based in Nairobi. It is headed by Dr. Shiko, a woman in tech currently passing down the elevator to young ladies who wish to walk down the same career path. Today, about 30 young ladies are on their first day of orientation at this special training on tech and remote work, which is the in thing in Nairobi currently. It's introduction time as the girls are meeting for the first time.
So for starters, when it comes to describing the gig and the platforms that they do, majority of them are in the software development space. We had 2 in a sample of 5. Clearly, I'm a researcher. And we have a social media guru, we have an operations analyst, and we have an accountant. So they're pretty much doing the regular courses that we do, but they're leveraging on platforms to be able to find gig workers and platforms that hook them up with tools that they can be able to use in the course of their work to make it easy, such as AI. The social media guru in my team shared that she uses ChatGPT to refine on the feedback that she needs to craft a post and share whatever it is she needs to do on the client's page. When it comes to how they knew about these gigs and when they knew about it, let's start with the when. So it's funny, during COVID, majority of us lost streams of income. Some of them had just graduated. So due to the need of putting food to the table, they transitioned to tech. And how they came to know about this was mainly through their friends. One mentioned that she went to a party, she met this guy rather, and they had a discussion, and by Monday the guy was showing her a gig and also training her and sharing resourceful materials.
Up to that point, moral of the story, please talk to strangers in parties. Jokes aside. Today, more young people are opting for remote jobs that are powered by remote working platforms like Upwork, Remote Tasks, and other privately outsourced gigs. While digital technology careers are highly touted as the jobs of the future, women occupy less than 30% of digital technology positions in Kenya. The root cause of the problem can be traced to disadvantages that girls and young women accumulate throughout the years in education. This challenge is evident in a lot of institutions where the ratio of men to women in tech is still higher.
Can I be able to be
As evidently told by the tutor of this class, Dr. Njeringa Roya, who is a lecturer at the Technical University of Kenya, a consultant, and the research team lead at Kala. She specialized in computing and information systems, and in her over-decade career in tech, she attests to the slow uptake of the courses by ladies.
When it comes to women in tech, honestly, the numbers are low. And I was actually telling you earlier about the bit of where we talk about the K-12 perspective, where we actually had students. I had students last year in December, students aged between 10 and 17. Actually, we just wanted to just get a perspective of when I actually ask them who a scientist is and who a chef is, will I actually get a kind of different perspective from what the earlier Njeri would actually be able to actually bring out. So unfortunately, when it comes to the scientist bit of it, the 10-year-old perspective, the 13, the 17-year-old perspective, it's a male. So they look at the scientist as a male. I stood in front of them, they knew who I was, but they did not identify as Njeri, who is actually in the field of computing. They did not identify with that, so they did not see me as a scientist. rather, and now the flip of it is that I thought if I told them to actually like identify a chef, they actually like give me like a lady. Interesting. It seems like now slowly we're actually having like young people just saying that the bits of actually arts, the male are actually coming into the culinary arts, and they're actually comfortable in that. And that is being seen by even kids who are 10 to around 17 years. But my issue was, why can't they see a woman as a scientist? And that is really painful, because what are they seeing? As in, like, what kind of cartoons are actually there that are actually still showing that is still a man as a scientist? So it's actually, for me, I actually take it like as a challenge. So what can we actually do as women in tech to actually just start impacting a 10-year-old? From a 10-year-old onwards, other than just impacting them from university level, or even at times even from the high school level.
There goes another challenge. Even the women who get opportunities in the tech sector are considered not so good enough to hold the positions or take up tasks that men are largely considered to be better at.
Why did they start on these platforms? So there are two ladies rather who had a very interesting case to share. So they both studied computer science back in college, but when she got her first job, the company was like, apana, sisi front end, we want it more for women and leave the men for the back end because it's more complex. Now it's funny because one of them has huge passion for dealing with databases and data cleaning, validation and all that. But now since she needs a job, she needs to put food to the table, she's forced to go and study front end again so that she can be an expert in that lane. So that's how she came to know of the gig.
With those challenges seen, how then can more ladies take up these tech courses?
I think it's the success stories. See what Dr. Sheko does, as in like see what Dr. Wanjero does, see what any other lady in this particular space does. So question is, are we able to vocalize this? Are we able to mentor these young ones and be able to like say, okay, now from this particular space, we're saying that, oh, so they can actually relate. Oh, so she can. So that means also I can. So we've actually like done, maybe in another space, I'm actually still able, on an IEEE, we've been able to actually like make sure we are very intentional when it comes to just impacting young girls from high school level, which I feel like right now, it's kind of like we need to actually like go lower to the primary level and be able to like now impact them. So from the primary, high school level, you actually go and introduce yourself, you actually like this and this, not only just us, but also students who are ladies, actually like maybe into what they actually call the hardcore units. So they introduce themselves and they're like, so it is possible for us to actually be in that particular spaces. And here we're not saying that it's empowering girls more. What we're just saying is that can we actually have more girls in such spaces that we can actually be able to build things together. So when you're actually like trying to actually like come into the innovation table, can the men and can the girls also be able to be in that particular table and be able to like build things that actually like are able to, they're contextualized and also be able to just be sustainable for both to actually like be able to actually use. So I think for me, mentorship is one of the key things, and also the success stories, they have to be there. They have to be out there to actually, for them to actually see that they can be able to succeed because they've actually seen someone else succeed before.
We also talked to some forerunners and veterans in the tech industry who've had lengthy careers in their lives and what they had to do to make sure that they sustain a career in technology as ladies. And this is what they also had to say.
My name is Dr. Wanjero Mboro. I'm a digital health researcher here in Kenya, mainly focusing on researching on how we can improve the health outcome, both in Africa, specifically in Africa, collecting data related to health issues and analyzing it so that we can give like feedback, recommendation on how we can improve the health outcome. I've been in tech since 2010, where initially we didn't know which direction to take. By then, it was only limited to software development, and most of us were scared of it, but we actually ventured into it. But right now, we have understood that tech area is broad. It's not only limited to development. There are things to do with research, there's data science, there's HCI. So it's broad, and ladies can take different disciplines that they can focus on so that they can at least see how we can develop tools that are useful and can be used by people. At the moment, we are all using technology. We always have a smartphone. We are using a laptop to interact with people, to send information. So we are already using technology. So for ladies, it's great for you to use this technology to improve, especially women and children healthcare, especially children and women, just to improve their livelihoods. How can you do that? There are different areas. You can be a developer. You can develop a tool that can help you as a woman guide your safety and ensure that you're accessing information that are limited. At the same time, there are other areas like research, where you want to understand a specific thing, and maybe let me pick maternal and child health care, where it affects you as a woman. So how can you research about it and give feedback to people who are developing so that they can improve the lives of other women? Or even in terms of safety, things to do with sexual health, how are you able to send this information? So as a woman, you're trying to support other women. There are other areas such as data science, where you're able to collect data, analyze that and give feedback. And what is this data talking about? How can it improve the livelihoods of people? So there are different areas that women can venture into. Initially, it was limited to software development, but now it's broad. And we are encouraging women just to come and see how do they want to improve the livelihoods of people, and pick one area of technology and run with it, and to make the world better.
And one of the key persons heading to this call is Michelle Ogola, who is a data associate at Kala. Michelle has extended her passion in math to take up data science. In under a year, she's been able to overcome the hurdles, challenges and perceptions around technology to take up a course in tech and is thriving in it. And no, tech was not her first course. She is an actuary.
Tech generally is a very male-dominated industry. And so the fear of being the only woman in the room, that's quite, does not sit well with some, because now we are underrepresented. So we opt to look for opportunities that at least we are many in number, and we feel that our voices can be heard. Because there's also the stereotype and the notion that we are not really tech proficient.
Being under a company run by a woman has been her biggest anchor in ensuring she's determined to continue the path of tech.
One, I'm in a company that is headed by a woman, and most of the employees here are women. So it's been easy to go around because you have support from the rest of the team. I know I want to use technology to solve problems. I think using it to solve problems is more impactful than just using it for the sake of using technology.
She admits her dalliance with data has inspired her to set her eyes on bigger things.
I want to pursue everything that is there in tech. I mean, we learn every day, we grow by learning. So when opportunities present themselves, then you go with them.
Globally, Iceland leads in the ratio of women in tech, with 45% of total tech workforce being women. Iceland tech jobs are offering the highest average female salary across all job roles at about $79,000 a year. Netherlands follows at 29% and the United States comes third at 34%, with this comparison made on regard to workforce. Belgium and Denmark follow at 26% jointly. Despite having inadequate data to report on the state of women in tech in Kenya, it is worth noting that women-led tech startups have been on a steady rise. Perhaps more success stories will encourage women to take up these STEM courses and excel in them.
Very well, now you're on the know. Let's now take a short break, then we'll be back. Remember, this is a special edition of Women in Tech on Takeover. Don't go too far. Welcome back. You're watching Techover, the show that discusses all matters technology. Today on Startup of the Week, we also feature these ladies in tech who have come up with startups and they're doing the most for themselves. Here is your Innovator of the Week or Startup of the Week.
In In the recent past, the Kenyan cosmetic and beauty industry has been on a steady rise. The rise has been steady that even more men are becoming keen at what they put on and on various facial routines. But a constant challenge has been original Kenyan cosmetics that address the needs of Kenyans. Most cosmetic products used in Kenya are imported, with a handful original manufacturers creating products for Kenyans. Irene Nyawera seeks to reverse this phenomenon with her 2-year-old startup manufacturing Kenyan original cosmetics.
I started as a makeup artist and I got very interested in the field and went ahead and pursued a course in cosmetology. Then after that, I started learning about manufacturing through KIRDI, Kenya Institute of Research and Development.
To her surprise, since launching 2 years ago as a small manufacturer, the reception has been overwhelming with a steady rise in client base.
The market is really responding well to especially Kenyan made. They feel they are really proud.
Yeah.
Well, we started with makeup, just lashes, lip gloss, liners, and we recently launched a whole line of skincare products, including moisturizers, serums, cleansers.
However, despite the great response from the Kenyan market towards her cosmetics and beauty products manufactured in Kenya, the reality of a tough economy glares at her business. She reports that rising cost of living has negatively impacted her business and clients prioritize more basic needs. But that's not all.
The biggest challenge has been manufacturing, starting from the ground up. As a small business, manufacturing things in small quantities can be a bit more expensive.
Just for context, the global cosmetic market size was valued at $262.21 billion in 2022 and is expected to expand at a compound annual rate of 4.2% from 2023 to 2030. One of the key factors driving the market expansion during the forecast period is the widespread increase in adoption of skincare and personal care products, along with the rise in global aging population. Rising fashion trends and considerable product innovation in hair color and other skincare products, formulations, and packagings all contribute to the market expansion. Irene and her team hope to create value of these opportunities in a fast-growing industry as this. And in the inspirational spirit of International Women's Day, to all ladies with startups and hope to scale up or hope to start something,
to do it and start whenever. You don't have to be ready to start. There's lots of things you're going to learn on the way.
And that's our startup of the week.
There you have it. On Tech Tip of the Week this week, we are featuring Samsung distributors on the all-new S24 Ultra and the all-new S24 series that comes with very special features, especially Samsung's biggest selling point this year on the S24 has been Galaxy AI. And so here then is the story of this distributor and Samsung S24.
Rehema Kamau, Mobile Experience Product Manager and also Mobile Experience Master Trainer at Samsung Electronics East Africa. I'm a lover of technology and I am very happy to be here. I've always been a lover of technology for a very young age, which inspired me, of course, to pursue my education. Right from education in university, I did a degree in Bachelor of Information Technology at Strathmore University, which is popularly known as BDIT. So that was the beginning of my journey with technology and everything technology. So I think the innovations that, we've seen around us when growing up, yeah. So that really sparked my curiosity around technology, because we know through technology there's been a lot of innovations that have evolved from the beginning of the mobile phones when we were talking about when the first mobile phones came out to what we have now, the smartphone. So all that technology and the possibilities that have been brought about with in innovation really sparked what I've loved about technology, and even spanning now into my career. I've been in the fintech industry, I've been in the telecom industry, and now where I am at the heart of innovation and technology at Samsung. I think what you need to do, not only as a woman, but also as any individual, is to ensure that you are keeping yourself updated and sharpening your tools and your skills, continue learning, relearning, and making sure you're staying on top of the job market. One thing about technology, it's ever changing, it's ever evolving. So what you need to do as a person interested in technology or the space around technology is to ensure that you're continuously learning. The good thing about what, again, technology has brought is access to information. There's got a lot of information online that you can continue to learn, a lot of free information. And even if we look at an organization like Samsung where we work, one of the things that they've really perfected is ensuring that we are constantly learning. So they've created a platform, the Samsung University, where we are continuously learning as individuals to grow ourselves, to grow our skills, and to ensure that we understand what are the key skills that are needed, what is happening in the market trends, and that is how you stay on top of the game. One thing I have to give credit to Samsung is there is no biases or in terms of who gets training. It doesn't matter in terms of gender, age, background, cultural. We all have the same opportunity. We all have the same learning platform. So this is a platform that is accessible to all, the whole organization. So whether you're in whichever level of the organization, this has ensured that any barriers in terms of ensuring the skills, we are all at par in terms of skills. So, and I would say, as much if you're out in an organization where there are no opportunities of probably like what we may have at Samsung, there are endless opportunities online where you continue to drive and sharpen your skills.
There you have it. Go grab yourself a Samsung S24. I have mine right here. The all-new Samsung S24 series is here with me. This is the Samsung S24 Plus. It comes with very amazing look, and as you can see, we are keeping on with the reviews so that we give you the much value that you deserve. And that's where we wrap up the show. Many thanks for being on Techover and for keeping us company. And to all the women out there, we salute you, we celebrate you. Please take up more tech courses because tech must live forever. My name is Brian Jojotieno. Stay techy.